You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
When the chips are down and democracy's back is up against the wall, two radio veterans step up to the microphone to right the wrongs, standing for truth, justice, and just because. Hey, are they ready to go yet? It's John and Gordy on 92.7 WMDX.
Oh, yes. Broadcasting from the top of the pile of books that my microphone is sitting on. This is John and Gordy in the morning on WMDX.
Good morning.
Now, if we had just a few more books, we could look a little bit more professional, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'll bring some of my Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. All right, how about that?
All right. Maybe I could also bring in some of my Berenstain Bear books that I used to read to the kids.
I used to have the World Book Encyclopedias. You know, they had 20 volumes or so.
Yeah.
So you get, and they had different. They were different thicknesses. You know, depending on what part of the alphabet it was.
Yeah. Well,
so that way, you know, you have a choice.
And it looks like we're
height.
knowledgeable, like we're going through those books.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really nice.
You got some very important. We should have a book review club. John and Gordy's book review. What books are you using today?
See, you can see the.
I can see Bill.
You can see the titles. I can't.
Yeah, The President is Missing is one of the titles. That's a Bill Clinton, James Patterson book.
Yes.
You know, they've got a franchise now.
Yep.
They've got, I think, 3 books out. One of them is called Unanswered Questions with Ray McGinnis. I don't know anything about that. And the one that I brought in, you're using today, Encyclopedia of Word and Phrase Origins.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a big
Oh,
yeah. That really helps out a lot.
Got
a lot of pages.
Stimulating read.
I'm going with the classics here.
You are, yeah.
I got the Milton Berle Private Joke File, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Really old jokes from like the 30s and 40s.
They would go over
vaudeville.
well.
Oh,
Yes.
my God. They're so awful. So awful. But Dom, you know, he's got a boom stand.
He
in there
actually has
that's
a
very nice.
mic boom stand.
I feel very bougie. I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah.
I have a full setup here, and you guys have half a setup.
But I understand they're on the way. You know, so
Wait a minute,
you
you've
know,
been
the rest of
saying
the
that
equipment-
for the last 2 months.
Well, that's what I understand. I don't know. It could be wrong.
We got the fancy new table and all the drilled
Yeah, it's
holes in the
beautiful.
table. Everything looks like it's all ready to go.
Everything is, you know, it's all good. You know, it's all good.
So, yeah, maybe somewhere in a harbor someplace.
Well, that's the
off
thing.
off the coast of California, they have a huge container filled with boom stands.
It's the supply chain issue. We've had it before.
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it right there.
Just for our show.
I'm sure they're sitting in a crate somewhere, but not anywhere near here.
No.
Apparently. 9 minutes past the hour. It's a cloudy start this morning and still feeling kind of muggy out there, don't you think?
Well, I think so, yeah. Yep.
And let's see. Currently, the WMDX thermometer right outside our window here on State Street says 64 degrees.
Well, that's
with the
fantastic.
mercury.
Yeah, that's really nice.
What is your WMDX
Windows-
Samsung watch?
Windows
tell us?
pretty accurate usually.
It is.
My watch
high.
says 63 degrees today
What do you got for
currently,
high?
but a high of 84
84
degrees.
Okay.
84.
Well, let's see. What should we use today? How about the bar dice?
I like it.
Okay, let's throw the bar dice there, Dom, and see what we can come up with. Okay, slam it down. Okay. Well, one of them's an 8, one of them's a 0. How do you get a 0 on a piece of die?
Well, we
I
got
don't
the
know how that
special
works.
dice.
8. So 80. But yours is saying 84.
Yeah.
So that's quite a
That's quite the
disparity.
difference right there, but I'm usually right. So,
Yeah.
you know, I hate to say it, but Samsung is right on the money.
So it's cloudy this morning, but I do expect we're going to see a lot of sunshine through the day. It's going to be warm and getting even warmer the next few days.
Yeah.
really, the heat is really going to hit us Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the 90s and feeling like it's 100. So we'll check in with Brittany Merlot a little bit later on. And, of course, in about 25 minutes, we'll talk to Tim Sleckar from Busted Pencils.
We got a whole bunch of questions.
We do. Yeah, we got a lot of questions.
Yeah, a great podcast on Wednesday dropped, and there's a lot of good topics in that. I want to get a little bit deeper into the weeds with Tim about some of the issues that they're talking about. So we'll certainly get into that. And also, I hope if we have time to talk about calm corners in your classrooms. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So I'll give you a little tip. They're trying to put in special lighting, sound, a quiet place where a person can go to chill out in the classroom if they're having difficulty in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what that would be, but anyway, they're. And the problem I have with it doesn't say anything about walls. It doesn't say anything about a different room. So how do you have special lighting in a corner of the classroom?
I don't know.
See, anyway,
I don't know how that works.
We'll see how that works.
We're also going to welcome in Jim Santel in our 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Our attorney at law will straighten us out on whatever's going on legally.
Well, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on legally, and some of those decisions are really questionable. I mean, the banning or allowing a ban on transgender care for children is just absolutely outrageous.
Big decision that came down on
and it
that.
was a partisan vote on the Supreme Court, which it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
And now they're making medical decisions.
Yeah.
These are the Republicans that don't want bureaucrats getting in the way of the freedom that people have to make their own decisions. So now they're right in the middle of this thing. Yes. And all the way through the transgender issue is mentioned the word sex all the way through, and then their decision says this has nothing to do with sex. Wow, transgender, nothing to do with sex. All right. Anyway, 6 of the conservative Supreme Court justices thought that was true. I don't know.
Well, we'll talk to Jim Santel and find out his take on all of that in our 7 o'clock hour. So it's 13 minutes past the hour. Let's check out the National Day. Well, we don't do the National Day calendar anymore.
It's so boring.
If we
every year, the same day comes up and the same things in the calendar come up. So we've decided to kind of skip this feature completely, except, we have a curiosity.
Except when there's something really important on it, right?
Yeah.
Like Juneteenth, that is a big one. The story of Juneteenth.
Very controversial now.
Yeah. Juneteenth, the background on that is it began in Texas when that Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston on June 19th in 1865 with the announcement, and they didn't know this for a long time, but slavery had ended. I mean, the word took a long time to get to Galveston, Texas. So they picked this day to, talk about Juneteenth and commemorating the end of slavery in the U.S.
We kind of touched on that, I think, yesterday or the day before, where the funding for Juneteenth is depleting. Yeah, they're cutting it because DEI is a very bad thing. In fact, it's illegal according to Trump. I don't know. He can make up laws now.
Well, if we were going to check out the National Day calendar, this would be one that you'd really like. It's National Watch Day because I know you're in love with your Samsung watch.
Smart watches, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
It's not a regular watch. You like the regular watches.
I like regular watches.
Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't do much. It just sits there on your wrist with the time.
But it's not big and clunky like the thing that your computer that you're wearing on your forearm.
Well, you have to have a computer on your wrist nowadays, don't you?
No.
Pretty soon they're going to be in your glasses.
You don't need that either.
It gives the dew point and everything, too. So it's like...
What is the dew point?
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't ask about the dew point. What is that?
I don't know.
Well, you got it right on your forearm now. Come on.
It takes a while to go a little bit deeper. I got to get into the app.
All right. In the meantime, it's World Sauntering Day. Who doesn't love a good saunter once in a while?
Sauntering. Did we ever cover that before? I don't remember having World Sauntering Day.
I don't know what the difference is between a slow walk, and a stroll and a saunter. I'm not sure which is the slowest or which is the quickest.
Yeah, you'd wonder maybe it's a horse thing, horse fair
sauntering,
thing, right?
yeah.
Sauntering.
It's also National Garfield the Cat Day. I know you're a big fan of Garfield the Cat, the cartoon.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
I thought you were.
the dew point is 62 degrees.
Well, anytime it's above 60, it starts to get a little dicey.
And when you have the humidity at 100%.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And that's what it's at
It's unbearable.
right now.
Yeah, it is.
That's where it's at.
Man, okay.
The definition of saunter: walk in a slow, relaxed manner without hurry or effort. So there we go.
Okay, thank you.
The more you know.
The more you know. That's right.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, what do we have in the history book there, Dom?
The history
Anything-
books. The
anything-
history books. Let's check it out.
Well, I mean, birthdays, anything else you got for
Yeah.
history, birthdays?
All right. So in 1960, the first NASCAR race is actually held at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Which
1960.
I don't watch a whole lot of NASCAR, so it's not super important to me, but I know a bunch of other people really love NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1951, the invention of Velcro. So there,
1951?
1951.
They held off using that for quite a long
They
time.
didn't know what to do with it. They're like, what is this good for?
We struggled with buttons for years.
Yes, we did.
All right.
Okay, anything else?
Yes, and then on this day, James Gandolfini dies at age 51.
What year was that? Was just 2 or 3 years ago, right?
I think that was a long time ago. That was definitely more than 5 years ago, I would have to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
now
don't
he's
think-
going
I
to
don't
look.
I'll double check on that.
Hang on.
Don't you have
What?
Hey Google on your
Hey, Google. Hey, Google.
phone?
Hey, Google.
We used to
I
get
don't
answers
know.
that way,
I don't remember. He died in 2013. Wow, you're right. He died. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
flies.
12 years ago.
Time flies. Time flies.
What's your doing? What's
Well,
your
it heard
phone
me say,
doing?
"Hey Google," so
Oh, I
it's
see.
asking me what I want.
He died 12 years ago. I'm probably a bigger Sopranos fan.
I never
now
watched. I never watched
than I
The
was
Sopranos.
even then.
Yeah.
I see a lot of clips on the phone now that pop up.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Anything else there, Dom?
We got two birthdays as well.
Forge ahead.
Two birthdays as well.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
All right.
1978, former NBA star Dirk Nowitzki was born on this day.
Who?
Dirk
Nowitzki.
Oh yeah, Dirk.
Nowitzki.
Nowitzki.
Yep, from the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And then Ann Wilson, rock singer from the 1950s. Or
Well, no.
born in 1950.
She was born in 1950.
She was in the band Heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's still in the band Heart.
Yeah, they're still playing around, right?
They finally got, they had some differences,
They did. Both
Ann
of
and
them, yeah.
Nancy, and they didn't talk to each other for a few years, and now they're back on tour again.
Well, that's great.
And I believe Ann is in a wheelchair. I'm not certain about that. But
Yeah.
I could have that wrong. Okay.
But they had some great songs. A lot of those older groups played acoustic sets
Yeah.
and rock sets, and that's what I liked about the old groups. They could do both. Nowadays, it's just kind of either hard rock or you're a folk singer, So-
Right.
But
Yeah.
they don't combine the two. Remember, they 10 years after did acoustic things.
Yeah.
Deep Purple did a few.
Yeah. Ah, those were the days.
Slade.
Slade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you remember Slade? at
I
all?
just remember the name Slade. I don't remember anything about the band.
It was a big group in England.
Okay.
They had a few songs here in the U.S., but
All right. 19 minutes past the hour. We're just getting started on a Thursday morning. We'll be back with more of John and Gordy in just a few moments.
all right.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
WNDX 92.7. John and Gordy in the morning.
It's a bit cloudy out there. Yeah. What are we listening to?
This is the Illinois Free Press.
No, Illinois Speed Press.
Speed Press. Is it?
Speed, isn't it?
Yeah, Speed Press.
Illinois Speed Press, correct?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
With Paul Cotton on
Yeah,
guitar.
you see, you're kind of a fan of that.
I saw
group.
them one time.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, somewhere around Chicago area, but yeah, they were great. They were great.
And that song is called Free Ride.
Yeah, I would admit, I was trying to find a Heart song, but I got signed out of YouTube, so I got to sign back. I don't know how I did that.
What?
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, Illinois Speed Press. They were really, really good.
Yep.
And then Paul Cotton left the band to join Poco after one of their guys left.
That's
Jim
probably
Messina
the reason
left.
why we never heard back from them.
they were
Because that
really-
song was so good. It just
I know.
rocked, man. And,
great.
yeah.
This portion of John and Gordy in the Morning brought to you by Verlo Mattress. You could wake up and sleep better on a Verlo mattress. Yeah. A lot has changed since 1958. Some things have remained constant, though, through Verlo's history. They're still direct-to-consumer. They still provide superior products at unbeatable prices, and they still have 2 Madison locations, East Side and West Side. Go to Verlo.com for more information and check out their lifetime comfort guarantee. Okay.
I saw this headline. I thought it was really interesting.
What's that? 9
food brands that won't survive RFK Jr.'s ban on colorants.
Really?
Yes.
Now I heard about this coloring ban.
As much as we
food
think
colors.
he's a complete idiot, and he is,
Yes.
he's right about the food coloring situation. The FDA, for some reason, has not banned all these food colorants that are banned in Europe. And they know best.
Yeah.
And the line in this story goes, we never realized that we're eating petroleum-based chemicals banned in much of Europe. So that's where the food coloring comes from. And
Petroleum-based.
Yes. And some of the products that might have a problem with this is Hostess cupcakes.
Oh, no.
That uses dark chocolate and, of course, strawberry colorings. That is Red 40, there's 2 Red 40s, Blue Lake 2 and Blue 1 Lake, and Yellow 5. Boy, I'm glad we're getting rid of them
These
because
food
those are really
coloring.
bad food colorings. And then, Mars has a problem also with all of these colorings. So
Really?
they're going to have a problem with some of their candies.
Like
They
what?
have a slogan, taste the rainbow. Well, that ain't going to happen anymore. And
What about M&Ms?
Yeah,
I mean, are M&Ms involved?
Yeah, big thing. Yeah, the
What?
M&Ms are going to be changed. They're going to have to change the Skittles, M&Ms,
Oh,
the
no.
coloring in that. They're going to use fruits and vegetable extracts, which is just a little bit more expensive. And those are the extracts for coloring in Europe and in other countries that have banned all these petroleum-based colorants.
Will we
God.
notice a difference in the colors, do you think? I mean,
That's why they don't use it. Well, it's a little more expensive to use, but also they're not sure how the colorings stand up in their baking and cooking and processing
and
process.
sitting on the shelves of convenience stores for
For a long
2 or 3
time.
years.
Host is going to have a problem with that. I raised my kids on Twinkies because I knew what it did to me. I became tall, strong, manly.
Sure. God.
Wow,
that's big news.
Yeah, it's really wild. They have special colorings. They're worried about some of these products like runts. I don't even know what a runt is.
Runts. Do you know that, Dom? Do you know what a runt
I have no clue what a runt
candy
is.
It's a candy, right?
It is a candy.
Okay.
Yeah, of some sort. They're worried about Reese's Puffs. These are cereals now. Cinnamon Toasted Crunch, Honey Nut Cheerios, Cookie Crisps, and, of course, Trix.
Oh, tricks are for kids.
I know. And so are those food colorings. Wow. My kids stopped eating. We used to buy Trix.
Yeah.
And we used to buy the off-brands, which sometimes tasted even better.
Mm-hmm.
But they stopped eating it. And the containers stayed in the cabinet. And I said, this is it. We're not eating food colorings anymore. And Nate had already made up that decision. They never told me. So we had to throw them out. But
that's sad.
it's sad because, you have all those brilliant colors.
Right.
The deceiving part about, Trix and all those other Fruit Loops is that they had the same flavor. All the colors tasted the same. There weren't different flavors
see what you're
mixed
saying.
in the cereal.
Wow.
Yeah, so red, like cherry, wasn't cherry at all. It was just the same flavoring
Same,
of the lemon.
no difference
and
at
orange. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, right? And I always thought there was a difference. I thought, wow, the combination of flavors. What a great cereal.
Yeah,
What do you got, Tom?
Yeah, I saw Runts. Runts is it's like the fruit candy. It's in like that little box. They look exactly like fruit, but just in candy form.
Okay. Of course, that's what we want.
Strawberry, apple, banana, grape. That's what they got. So.
Okay. Well, any of this food coloring going to affect like the fruit rolls, those the roll-ups or whatever they're called?
I think that will have an effect.
Those have food coloring, I imagine.
So do sodas.
Sodas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, of course, different sodas have different colorings and stuff like that. And
Okay.
some of the cheaper brands,
Like
they are really
Sunkist
bright. You can see them across
like neon
across the store.
glowing.
That's right.
They're like, glow going to go away?
So
really?
those might be a problem.
Okay. Well, I'll have to watch our store shelves and see how the colors change.
Well, Marie Callender has these frozen pies, and they're really good. A lot of those pies are
They
exceptional.
are. Yes.
But now they're having a problem because
Why?
their bottom line is very tight already because they do have to have a competitive price out there. But these food colorings if they go with actual natural fruits and vegetable colorings, then it's going to raise the price up by 2 or 3 cents, and they don't want to do that.
Prices are already going up. Okay. Oh,
See,
well,
now RFK
thanks for
Jr.
bringing
is
us all
raising the
down.
prices.
It's 29 minutes past the hour. Pam Yankee, the fabulous farm babe, has the Midwest Agricultural Report, the Farm Report. And then we'll be back with Tim Sleckar from Busted Pencils, talking education. Next.
All right.
Mother, there's too many of you crying.
WMDX 92.7. It's John and Gordy in the morning, and it's a kind of a muggy, high humidity, high dew point morning for you.
Yes, it is.
And we're overlooking State Street. The leaf blower guys are not out this morning.
We
for
haven't
some
seen
reason.
them for days.
I know what happened. They were
I'm
out.
not sure.
They went out and they blew leaves during the rainstorm that we had.
Yes. It was fun to watch.
I don't know why, but
Well, they want to keep their jobs. I guess.
But now they're not out there when they should be out there.
I don't know. It's 6:35. It is cloudy. We'll see a lot of sunshine, though, and highs in the low 80s. Right now, it's 64 degrees.
Maybe the city hires as supervisors.
You think so?
Make sure those guys are doing their job out there.
Sure. This portion of the show brought to you by Madison Hearing Aid Center. Go to their excellent website, MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. They offer passion over profit, fast and flexible appointments, helping people change their lives. Their number one goal isn't just selling hearing aids, it's improving the quality of life through better hearing. Talk to Jim or Sarah at Madison Hearing Aid Center, 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. Once again, their website, MadisonHearingAidCenter.com.
All right, let's go to our Thursday morning guest, Tim Sleckar, Dr. Tim Sleckar from Busted Pencils. And they have podcasts that you can listen to, and I'm going to refer to the latest podcast from Wednesday, which I thought was very interesting about ditching college for tech classes in the schools nowadays. You found this article in USA Today. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for the weather update. Here,
What's it like in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, what's it like?
I was going to say, I'm going to say here in Pennsylvania right now, modes of transportation are canoes.
Wow, raining.
Lots of rain.
Wow.
But no, yeah. Think about I saw this article because it's interesting to think that more and more students are literally saying, you know what, college, no, not for me. There are opportunities in particularly around, getting training and going out and going to work. The other part of the article, though, is that the survey of the parents going,
No.
I don't want, wait a minute. You're supposed to go to college, right? And I think that what's really happening there, though, too, is that students might actually have a little bit more of a take on this of saying, but why would I go to college when it doesn't seem like, graduating from college gives me anything other than debt
Right.
and no job opportunities? And right now, even without a trade school, just coming out of high school, taking a job that has an apprentice type of a program like that, they can start earning money and going forward. In that direction. And so the reason I brought this to the Busted Pencils was to say, well, what would that mean currently in a higher education landscape where we already know that enrollments are declining, and there is a kind of a cultural anti kind of like, well, don't go there because all they do is teach you to overthrow the government and
Well, that's true. That's what they're thinking. And the more educated, of course, the more democratic you are, right?
Well, and install some form of a Marxist authoritarian.
Oh yes,
no, and I wonder though too when I look at this and say, I don't know that let's say the kids. I think that they might be onto something, and the parents, though, are still kind of trapped in this sense of going, but we always imagined that and if we're really talking about first generation college students here, we really imagined that you were going to go to college. And so the parents are up against this vision of what they saw college as, meaning this pathway to some form of a middle class, job type of security, when the reality is that maybe that is more of a myth than it is an actual truth. And maybe the students in high school have more of a grasp on thinking, you know what, I think a future is for me right now is to get a good job, to get some training. And one of the things that I kind of highlighted in this article was one of the students really pointed out and saying, that doesn't mean that I've ruled out college. It just means that I'm thinking about it for now as something that, I can go out, I can make some money, I can get a trade, and then I can go back to college.
Right.
And that is a unique, potentially cultural shift to think about going, okay, what if college isn't immediately right after you graduate high school? And, Johnny in that episode was talking about saying that, he always did think that, taking a year off before you go to college really does kind of give a sense of, when you actually sign up to go into college, then after a year break or going out and doing something, you have more of a sense of going, why you came to college. So
yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. But I grew up in a time when we thought that if you took a year off or two, you're not going to go back.
Right.
That was was the thinking back then.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what your parents thought too. It's
Yeah.
like, well, if you take a year off, you're not going back. You're not going to go back.
But you brought this up. You brought this up in your
goof
podcast, and I looked up the who goes back, and according to the statistics from last year, I believe, 39 million went back to college. 24% of those who were at college, undergrads, were adult. Okay, and the pathway, of course, is doing that, going back to college. Now, I'm wondering how many of these had gone to college for a year, dropped out, didn't think it was useful, then went on to the workplace, but then decided to go back to college. So they had a year or two of college already, and they just went back to finish their undergrad.
In fact, that population, we refer to them as some college.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Some college.
No, and it's a huge population
Yeah.
of people that have gone and done a year, did a year and a half. It didn't work out. They didn't like it, and now they're out in a job. And some of them are saying, "Oh, geez, I should go back." But actually, there's a huge population of some college that legitimately had significant problems, and right now institutions are saying, how do we get them to come back?
Right.
What is it? And this is where I think there's a real opportunity for higher education and colleges to point out and say, you know what, we have, and in fact, let's design pathways for this population that is a little bit different than a traditional 4-year going, living in the dorms, waking up on Monday morning and going, I'm not going to class, and realize that this population, maybe if we change the way we do college, we could get them to come back and create pathways. So there's a whole lot of opportunities here for higher education, particularly to kind of say, okay, we have a traditional track. We know we want those students, but what about all of these other people? Because if higher education is truly beneficial, then how we allow people to access it and how we allow them to progress through it, we might need to change those types of modalities to fit somebody who maybe is working, quote, full time and still wants to go to college. And so how do we allow or encourage them to have the ability to come back to college?
Talking to Dr. Tim Sleckar from Busted Pencils. Tim, we've got a text here from Matt in Middleton. He says he has a little different take on this.
Yeah, it's kind
talking
of
about his
interesting.
body here.
Yeah.
The thing about college is that it can lead to a career that doesn't destroy your body. The trades are hard on your body, and it's unlikely you can do it for 30 years as opposed to a thinking career. That's he says that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
That's because he's talking about jobs like welders or plumbers.
Right.
That does take a toll. I guess that comes into consideration when thinking about what you're going to do with your life.
It actually does. In fact, I was down at the carpenters training facility in Pittsburgh yesterday, actually talking to that group who is trying to, imagine college as a pathway. And one of the issues is that, this is hard work. It's hard on the body. And, if I had, in addition to my, carpenter's, let's call it a license, if I had maybe a bachelor's degree in construction management, that, maybe in 15 years, I can then kind of move into a direction where I'm not on my, hands and knees or lifting heavy things. And, it's a real issue. It was interesting because they were, particularly flooring installers who
that's
are
tough.
truly on their hands and knees all day long. After 20 years, it might feel good to stand up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I have a nephew who's a master plumber, and has gone all the way up in the union and is a crew manager and goes all over the state doing plumbing. But I think he's about 45 or years or so old, and he can't wait to get retired. He's like, I'm looking forward to the day that I don't have to do this kind of work. And he's in charge of it, though. And so he does do some hands-on, of course, but he says my body is worn out.
That gets into the side issue of when is the best time for retirement. The Republicans want to extend it. They don't want you to retire too early, and they want to make it even later in life that you can retire, and that's kind of foolish because of all these laborious jobs that are destroying your body, right?
Well, yeah, but understand that where they're coming from is that they need people in their 80s to come in and fix their toilets.
Well, I was waiting for something profound, and we got it from you on that. Okay, now I want to bring this up too because we have a Gen Zer as our producer, Dom. And I wonder, what do you think on this, Dom? Do you guys debate whether, there's a field that you can get into, but it may not be there for long because AI might replace it or robotics might replace it. What's your feeling on that?
I actually just talked about this with my roommate, who's about the same age as me.
Yeah.
And he
22?
22, correct. Yep, 22. And he is very afraid of where AI might go with this whole issue about
Yeah.
gaining jobs, going into the real world. I just started going into the real world a couple months ago, and my roommate was really nervous. He does sort of lab testing, and already robots are kind of going into the forefront there, and kind of taking over his job essentially. And I know it's going to be much more in about 5 to 10 years, or that's what we think. That's what we think.
Some of that may be a discouragement to go into anything.
Correct.
And that's why they may be holding themselves up and not going on to college at that point, right, Tim?
Yeah, it's a real fear. I think the idea of potentially being replaced by robots isn't necessarily. I mean, if we're talking about the manufacturing process, that's going to continue to be an issue. But I see Dom. Well, I have some thoughts about that I think might give Dom a little bit more of a sense of ease.
All right.
Okay.
We'll come back.
All right. We'll be back with Dr. Tim Sleckar from Busted Pencils on John and Gordy in the Morning in just a moment.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
That I was Thursday's child. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, born I was Thursday's child.
WMDX 92.7, John and Gordy in the morning on a somewhat sunnier morning and humid. I think the haze out there is actually humidity and dew points.
I think you could be
Wow.
right. Yes. We'll
Bad.
check in with Brittany
Bad
Merlot in about a half hour, get her take on things. It is 6:52. We're back with Dr. Tim Sleckar from Busted Pencils.
And we're talking about what Gen Z is thinking about doing because of AI and robotics. And you had something you want to add about robotics and AI.
Well, I think the concern that robotics are going to take your jobs is that in one way, I mean, they already are and they already have been, particularly if you're talking about in the manufacturing areas, right? And so I'm not sure if that is this idea of, truly like humanoid robots that are going to take over their jobs. I don't think we're at that point yet. What I would say to Gen Z, and which is, my daughter and my son, is that my best assumption and guess is looking at the AI world is that the way you guard against being quote replaced by AI is to you yourself get involved and understand AI because again, I'm taking somebody else's quote, but AI isn't going to replace you. But Dom, if you understand and know how to use AI, you're going to replace people who don't know how to use it.
Oh, like that.
And so it really is on all of us to really understand how to do it. But it is, as the AI world comes forward, we don't really know what is going to be quote replaced and how it's going to affect. And so I really look at this and say this is an opportunity for people to dig into AI, and particularly I'm really following and I really see this as a unique thing is that more artistically inclined liberal arts types of people are actually really, really great users of generative AI because they can think creatively with it, where when you're more people are like, I don't want to get into tech. I don't want to get actually users of this are actually better at it and can come up with much more creatives. So I think about this, David Bowie was, quoted back in the 60s and 70s when the synthesizer came out, it could absolutely replicate every instrument there was out there, and they're like, are you worried, David, about this replacing your musicians? And his thing was, actually, I don't find the synthesizer interesting because it can replicate. It's when they, as artists, started mixing it to make unique new sounds that he found this. And so there was an artistry into the tool
There you go.
that puts this way. And so I see the same thing with generative AI. What I'm training myself to be, though, is that I'm going to be an AI counselor, because I see that when AIs are counseling, lots of other people, that the AIs are going to have to get really tired, and they're going to need a human to actually coach them back from the brink, because of you got to think.
You're
I mean,
really
these AI,
thinking ahead. That's,
because the AI is going to be, can you imagine all of the crazy people the AI is going to have to experience, and they're going to be like, what is going on? I'll be like, okay, check it out, AI. Here's the deal. Okay.
wow.
Yeah, AI isn't going to be able to understand a lot of humans.
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to have to be there to say, like, look, I know you've been working with my aunt, and I got to tell you,
Crazy.
she's crazy.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that is
That's great stuff.
That is really that's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
There
could be a lot of business there.
I thought maybe a suggestion that Johnny came up with, and I hate to say that we're trying to reinvent the wheel here, because the EU has been doing this for many, many decades. They've been channeling people and creating pathways for them to get into an occupation right from high school.
Right.
But the thing here is that maybe if we just had K through college, where people could go into college and test it out and see if they like it and stay there. And maybe if they don't like it, they could leave but go back in, because it's free. It's paid for by the general public. Wouldn't that be just better that way?
That sounds like some form of communism.
Yeah, that's a revolutionary idea. I know.
My God.
That's way too advanced.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Giving humans the access to flourishing on somebody else's dime. What are you talking about?
Oh, I know.
No, I mean, yeah, I think that, though, too, is to imagine that I think we do imagine education as these kind of segmented times that are really broken apart, when really we need to be thinking about and this is somewhat of a generic term, but lifelong learning.
Yes.
And realizing, and so
Yes.
therefore access to education at any point in your life is something that we as a society should be trying to figure out.
And that's something you're doing right now, right?
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, so again, a visit to the Carpenters facility in Union yesterday. In fact, they were talking about this in a way that, they're interested in bachelor's degrees, they're interested in master's degrees, but they're trying to say this, and I totally get what they're saying is that, but couldn't it be that on the way to those degrees that they're getting certifications along the way that count towards the degree, and so that their members could say, you know what, after 15 credits of a certification, I'm good. This now gives me something. But if I want to come back, I can jump in and I don't lose anything. In fact, I'm always accumulating towards something else.
Yeah. Well, that's
Absolutely.
great. All
Tim,
right,
we have to leave it
thank
there.
You.
Thanks for joining us, Dr. Tim Sleckar. You can check out their podcasts that drop on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the show on the Civic Media Radio Network on Saturday.
1 hour show. It's great stuff.
Tim, good to talk to you. Talk to you next time.
All right, guys.
All
See you
right,
next time.
Yep. Take care.
Back with more of John and Gordy. We've got Jim Santel in our next hour and a whole lot more.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.